Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're here for the very last of the first impressions video for the New Frontier Pass content drops, because this is the last instance of leaders and new game modes and stuff that they're dropping before the Frontier Pass ends, so who knows what they'll do after this, whether it'll be Civ 7 or another Frontier Pass. I kind of hope for Civ 7, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, yep, just gonna go ahead and watch the video today as I normally do, give some of my thoughts and impressions, and maybe we'll talk about a little bit, you know, what we hope to see after in the coming months of Civ 6 or perhaps future games. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at what they have to say today.
The fans to the developer video for the final pack in the Civilization 6 New Frontier Pass.
We'll be announcing our next new Civ and giving you all the details on 2 new world wonders, a new map script, and another exciting brand new game mode.
Every time we've announced any new Civ, we've seen a ton of requests on social media for this Civ. It's been so hard to keep it secret when there's been so much demand for it, but finally, at long last, we are thrilled to announce that the next new Civ is known for its vast naval empire, powerful port cities, being one of the first truly global civilizations. At long last, we're bringing you Portugal.
So Portugal is the new Civ. This is one that I had requested a lot towards the start of the New Frontier Pass, and it's one, I believe there was one of the what was it? I think one of the content drops, I was almost convinced that Portugal was going to be the Civ, but they weren't, so they've held out until all the way back here, and now finally as the last leader of the New Frontier Pass, Portugal is going to be added. This one was leaked, I believe last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, so this one isn't too much of a surprise to many people. I know a lot of people asked me about it on stream over the past week, but yeah, Portugal I think is very cool to get. Part of me does actually wish, you know, like, I was wishing for Portugal at the start of the New Frontier Pass. I kind of would have liked to see, you know, some other, maybe less represented Civ, you know, one that we haven't seen in previous Civ games. I honestly don't really have any ideas, but just, you know, maybe something that would be new and fresh. But either way, Portugal I am very happy with, because Portugal was one of my favorite leaders in Civ 5, so always looking forward to seeing them in Civ 6.
We'll be saving a detailed discussion of Portugal's mechanics for the first look video, but it should come as no surprise that you're going to need to sharpen your naval skills.
History has so many compelling civilizations, it's always a challenge for us to choose which one we want to feature next. However, Portugal gave us the chance to design some systems that really encourage and reward maritime exploration and trade. This is something that not a lot of other Civs specialize in, so putting Portugal on a map really creates some fun strategic opportunities.
So this is something I was actually just about to say before he himself said it. So yeah, there's not really that many good naval Civs in Civ 6, so I really like that they are adding another one, because I feel like naval gameplay in Civ 6 is a lot worse than it was in Civ 5, just in terms of, I don't know, how it feels as a whole, I suppose. So hopefully Portugal will be a strong naval Civ that we can then use to hopefully enjoy our naval games a little bit more. I mean, I guess that being said, Victoria has gotten a lot better since she was originally introduced into the game throughout all the patches and stuff like that, but still, naval games are always fun, and me and the lads do quite like to play our naval Civs, so hopefully Portugal will be quite a strong naval Civ that we can play.
We also used Portugal as the inspiration for one of our 2 world wonders, with the second hailing from another previously released Civ, Babylon.
Historically, the imposing Torre de Belém served as ceremonial gateway to Lisbon. In Civilization 6, it grants additional gold and Great Admiral points. It also provides bonus gold for every luxury resource at a destination of international trade routes. And, when constructed, gives any city you own on another continent a free building.
Alright, so let's go back to this and take a look at this. I have no idea. I never knew that this was pronounced. I don't know how she just said it. It sounded like doji, but it's, I don't know. I've always said that Torah, but evidently that's probably not. Whatever this is, de Belém is the new wonder that is based on Portugal. So we will get international trade routes from the city. We'll receive +2 gold for every luxury resource at the destination. I think that this is pretty okay. I wonder if it stacks, or, you know, like, for amenities, only 1 copy of the luxury resource counts, but I bet that for this one, it probably counts multiple. So this one is, I think, okay. That's an alright bonus. And then also, when this wonder is constructed, cities not on your home continent receive the lowest production cost building they can currently construct for free. It's a very interesting bonus. I don't really have much of a clue on how that's going to be. I feel like you're going to end up getting a lot of monuments in a lot of your cities. But that one, yeah, I feel like it's a strange wonder in a way. It also does give you 5 gold per turn, just straight up. So I think that this one's going to be pretty interesting. I'm really interested to see how this lowest production cost building thing is going to work. I mean, if you're playing someone like Dido or Victoria, you'll probably have a pretty good time with that. I mean, I'm sure it probably is meant to work well with Portugal as well. So this will be interesting to see. But yeah, as I mentioned, I feel like you're probably just going to get like a bunch of monuments whenever you do this, because it'll probably be the lowest production cost building that you can currently construct, unless you have already built a lot of buildings in the city. But either way, pretty interesting sounding wonder.
Free building. Meanwhile, the towering ziggurat at Temenanki grants additional science yields every turn, as well as bonus science and production to all floodplains in its home city.
All right, let's go back and look at that one as well. So this one gives you 2 science, 1 production to all marsh tiles in your empire. Oh, in your empire also, that's pretty good. And plus 1 science and plus 1 production to all floodplains tiles for this city, and it itself gives plus 2 science. This one, I think, is... I don't know. I'm trying to think right now, honestly. I mean, this combined with the Great Bath would probably be pretty good. If you have both the Great Bath and this, you'll get, what, 2 faith, 1 science, 1 production on all your floodplain tiles? That'd be pretty solid. The 2 science, 1 production on all marsh tiles in your empire, I feel like is okay. I don't really think that's that great. I'm trying to think what marsh tiles have. I think are they 3 food tiles? I'm trying to think if they're 3-1 or if they're just 3. But either way, 2 science is pretty good to get on tiles, and 1 production it's an okay bonus. So it's something like a marsh where you can't improve the production any further. It is nice to get production from another source like this. So I think this wonder as well is going to be pretty alright. I wonder where it comes in the game though, because if it is very early on, I feel like there's no chance you ever build this on deity, because the AI will just build it all the time anyways. This wonder, I do want to say, will work well with the new map script that they'll talk about in just a little bit, because it does have a lot of marsh tiles, so that is something else to kind of, synergize with some of the other new content to make it a little more fun.
And marsh tiles in its civilization.
Speaking of marsh tiles, the Portugal pack also includes a new map script, the Wetlands. Dominated by marshes, this map offers new strategic challenges and defensive possibilities. For example, while marshes penalize movement, careful positioning can allow ranged units to exploit enemies' reduced speed.
Finally, the bone...
So that's the new map script there, the Wetlands map. So you can see here that there are quite a few marsh tiles on this one. Where's like the big clump? This big clump of marsh tiles over here is quite a lot more than you would normally get in a game. I wonder if there's perhaps more floodplains as well. It's really hard to tell from just this little pan over that they have here, but I think this will be an alright map script. I'm honestly not that excited for it, just because I feel like, I mean, marsh tiles are okay, but I feel like I would rather just not have that many of them in a given game, because they are kind of irritating to move through, and you really can't put any improvements on them unless you get rid of them, so that is something as well. But either way, I mean, more map scripts is always fun to have.
Finally, the bone mint we've been waiting for, included in the Portugal pack, is our latest brainchild. Zombie defense. In this optional grave mode, the dead don't stay dead for long and present an ever-growing threat to the world's civilizations. Whereas
Alright, this one just kind of weirds me out a little bit, what they're doing here with all this stuff, but I don't know, that's okay. I think they're just trying to have fun with it, but it just weirds me out a little bit. Anyways, the new mode is zombie defense mode, so we'll hear about it a little bit, but it's pretty much like units that die will come back as zombies, and as they kill more units, then they will turn into more zombies, and obviously you don't want to get killed by them, so let's go ahead and see what we got about the zombie mode.
or as I like to think of it, an ever-growing brain drain.
In zombie defense, every unit slain in combat has a chance to rise from the battlefield as a ravenous zombie. Zombie units chase and attack the nearest non-zombie unit, and any unit they successfully catch, crunch, and kill respawns as zombies themselves.
But don't worry.
Yeah, so you can see there that as they kill this unit, it respawns as a zombie. So these things are apparently just going to go after whatever the nearest unit that they can find is. So they are pretty much like barbarians, except even worse, because they'll continue to spawn more. So I feel like this is going to be a very frustrating game mode to play, but I feel like this will be a fun one, especially for multiplayer or something like that.
Zombies themselves.
But don't worry, because sadly, the living can fight back. An arsenal of new trap and barricade improvements deal damage to hostile units that pass through or near them. These mode-specific improvements can be built on owned or neutral territory. And again, sadly, zombies' obsession with brain banquets and digestive devastation means they can only fall victim to the traps and barricades and are unable to pillage them. Huh?
So that's something that's pretty interesting here. Also, whoever just subscribed, that's kind of funny. I keep getting notifications in the middle of this recording, and for whatever reason, they're not off on my OBS. But you can see here that we do have some traps and stuff. So we have this little spike trap here that the zombies will take damage on. There was also the little barricade, which was somewhere out here. Oh, there we go. There it is. So yeah, you can build these little barricades and stuff that will damage the zombies as they move through. And as the guy said, the zombies themselves cannot pillage these barricades or anything like that. So that is good that there is another way to be able to interact with them to defend yourself rather than just trying to throw units at them, because I think throwing units at them would just be a little bit difficult, because as you lose units, then obviously it spawns more zombies, and you'd probably have a pretty bad time trying to do that.
Also, unluckily for the undead, 2 new city projects allow civilizations to temporarily subjugate the zombie units within a city's limit, putting them under players' control. This lets you direct zombies' mindless mayhem at your opponent. You can either use zombies to directly target enemy units, or just move them out of your city and closer to someone else's brains.
So I think that is... Oh god, that is so freaking creepy. Anyways... I don't like that. It just makes me uncomfortable. Anyways, yeah, so you can run the district project here, or the city project, that will convert the zombies under your control, and then you can use them to either fight other people or just, walk them over to somebody's territory, where then when you lose control of them, they will, just attack them instead. So I think this is an interesting way to be able to deal with the zombies. This one I feel like will be particularly fun for multiplayer. The one thing that I do wonder is how these zombies are going to scale with... in terms of combat strength and things of that sort, because you can see right here they have 20 combat strength, but I would imagine that this probably scales throughout the game, and if not, then maybe the zombies won't be that scary off into the later eras.
Delicious.
You'll also have access to the Zombie Defense Spy Operation, which attempts to spawn zombie units on work tiles in another player's city.
See, this is also really, really irritating to be able to spawn zombies. It's just like the neighborhood project, except even more spammable, because it won't destroy. Like when you run the spawn barbarians one in the neighborhoods district, it will pillage the district, so you can't immediately do it again. But this one you can probably immediately do again. So this is going to be really, really irritating to deal with.
And most importantly, brains.
To sum up, the 6th and final installment of the new Frontier Pass is the much-requested Portugal pack, also featuring new world wonders from Portugal and Babylon, a new marsh-focused map script, and a new game mode that my coworkers are really, really hyped about.
Civ fans, you're the best fans in gaming. We appreciate your support through every new Frontier Pass pack release, and we hope you'll continue to follow us on social media to keep up to date on all the latest in the Civilization franchise. For one thing, be sure to check back in April as we reveal the final free game update of the season.
We hope you are all staying safe and healthy and non-zombified. And remember, when it comes to Civilization or the undead, there's always one more brain. Turn. The hashtag is one more turn.
Alright, so that is the final update for the new Frontier Pass, coming out March 25th, so that is next Thursday. So not this upcoming Thursday, but 10 days from now, obviously. So I think that there's some pretty decent content in this one. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the zombie game mode. It seems like one I'll play with a few times, but it's probably not one that I'll keep on all the time, just because I feel like I'll get frustrated with it when I keep getting mobbed by zombies. But for things like multiplayer games or anything like that, I think it is going to be pretty fun. Pretty hyped about Portugal. Portugal is always one of my favorite civs in the civ game, so I'm very excited to see what they can do with them. And as far as where they go next for the new Frontier Pass and things like that, obviously, as mentioned, there is one more free content drop that's coming out in April. So for that one, I really hope that they do a massive balance patch, which they supposedly are. So hopefully they'll go back and rework some of the older leaders and some of the ones that are just a little bit weak right now, like Tamar or Spain or things like that have pretty much just been made, kind of obsolete with leaders that have been added in the new Frontier Pass. I always just think of the idea of, like, Spain is a religion domination civ, and Byzantium is also a religion and domination civ, except about 90 times better than Spain, so why even bother playing Spain at that point? So hopefully we'll get some nice balance reworks and things of that sort, and maybe even after the new Frontier Pass, if they continue to do a little bit of, balance tweaking and things like that, to really, tie up the Civ 6 package as a whole game, and then hopefully after that, maybe we'll get some news on Civ 7. I doubt it's going to release until, I don't know, maybe probably not until either late 2022 or maybe even 2023. We've probably still got a while until Civ 7 comes out, but I kind of hope that we do move on to Civ 7 rather than another season pass for Civ 6, just because as much as I love Civ 6, I've been playing this game for 5 years already almost, so it's kind of ridiculous to think that this game has been out for nearly 5 years, but, I'm always looking for something new and fresh, so I would like to see, some things changed up for Civ 7, but maybe you guys agree or disagree. Let me know in the comments section below. But thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for some more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.